Here is a number for you. $240,000. That is how much Mike Tyson spent every single month just on walking around money. Not his mortgage, not his staff, not his bills, not his properties. Walking around money. The cash he carried in his pocket for spontaneous purchases, impromptu gifts, strip clubs, jewelry stores, whatever he felt like doing that particular day. $240,000 per month on impulse spending alone. That is $288 million per year just in his pockets. Now here is another number, $400 million. That is how much Mike Tyson earned during his boxing career. $400 million from one man's fists, and by 2003, he was filing for bankruptcy with $38 million in debt. From $400 million in earnings to $38 million in debt in less than 20 years. That is not bad luck. That is not bad timing. That is one of the most financially catastrophic stories in the history of professional sport. And today I am going to take you inside it, because this is not really a boxing story. This is a story about childhood poverty, trauma, predators, and the dangerous gap between earning money and understanding it. By the end of this video, you will never see money the same way again. Where it all started, Brownsville, Brooklyn. To understand what Mike Tyson did with $400 million, you have to understand where he came from. Brownsville, Brooklyn, one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in New York City in the 1970s. Tyson grew up in poverty so severe that his family was eventually forced to move to a worse neighborhood because they could not afford Brownsville. Read that again. They got priced out of one of the most dangerous areas in New York City and had to move somewhere cheaper. He had no father. His mother was largely absent. He was small, wore glasses, had a high-pitched voice, and a noticeable lisp. He was bullied constantly. His only escape was pigeons. He kept racing pigeons on the rooftops of Brownsville. He raised them, named them, cared for them the way nobody was caring for him. One afternoon, an older boy grabbed one of Tyson's pigeons and snapped its neck right in front of him. Mike Tyson attacked the boy. It was the first fight of his life, and it was the beginning of everything that followed. By age 13, Tyson had been arrested 38 times. He ended up in a juvenile detention center, where a counselor named Bobby Stewart noticed something extraordinary in the bullied kid from Brownsville. He connected Tyson with legendary trainer Cus D'Amato, and Cus D'Amato saw something nobody else had ever seen. Not just a fighter, a champion. The Rise, the youngest heavyweight champion in history. In 1985, Tyson turned professional at 18 years old. He was terrifying. His style was unlike anything boxing had ever seen. Explosive, violent, surgical. He would slip punches at inhuman speed and deliver combinations that ended fights in seconds. People stopped buying pay-per-view to watch him win. They bought it to see how fast it would be over. In November 1986, at just 20 years old, Mike Tyson became the youngest heavyweight champion in the history of boxing. And the money started coming. Not slowly, not gradually, like a dam breaking. $30 million per fight, $40 million per fight, $75 million for a single night against Evander Holyfield. By his mid-20s, Tyson was one of the highest-paid athletes on earth. A kid from Brownsville who had been arrested 38 times before graduating high school was now one of the most financially powerful people in sport. And here is where the story turns dark, because nobody had ever taught Mike Tyson a single thing about money. Not how to manage it, not how to protect it, not what to do when the world starts throwing it at you faster than your mind can process it. He went from nothing to everything, in a blink. And the world was already waiting. The spending, numbers that defy belief. Let me walk you through what Mike Tyson actually spent his money on. Because the details are so extraordinary, you need to hear every one of them. 3 Bengal tigers, $70,000 each, plus a custom-built habitat in his backyard, plus a full-time animal trainer at $125,000 per year, just to care for the tigers when Tyson was not home. He paid a man $125,000 annually to babysit his tigers, 3,000 racing pigeons, the same birds that had been his only comfort in Brownsville. He collected them obsessively at up to $3,000 per bird. His pigeon collection alone cost over $400,000. A man who grew up unable to afford food, spending $400,000 on birds. A gold bathtub, purchased for his first wife Robin Givens, cost $2.2 million. Not gold-plated, solid gold. Mansions, plural. a 51,000 square foot Connecticut estate on 17 acres, complete with a nightclub for 1,000 guests, an indoor shooting range, an NBA regulation basketball court, and over 100 phone lines. Then an Ohio mansion with gold-plated furnishings. Then a Las Vegas property. Then Maryland, 4 mansions simultaneously. Garden maintenance alone, $300,000 per year, just to cut the grass. Cars. He bought 19 vehicles in a 3-year period, spent $4.5 million on cars in 36 months. Once walked into a dealership and purchased 5 Bentley Azures in a single visit. $1.5 million, gone in minutes. Jewelry, $100,000 per month on jewelry and clothes. He walked into a London store in 2000 and spent $688,000 in one shopping trip on a watch, bracelet, and 2 pocket watches. His entourage, over 50 people traveling with him at all times, all paid, all fed. And most famously, he kept a man whose sole job was to attend press conferences wearing army fatigues and shout guerrilla warfare at the appropriate moment. This man was paid $300,000 per year to shout 2 words. That was the financial reality of Mike Tyson at his peak. The Predator, Don King, and the theft of a fortune. But here is the plot twist most people never fully hear. Mike Tyson did not just spend his money. A massive portion was taken from him by his own promoter, Don King. Brilliant, flamboyant, powerful, and according to multiple lawsuits, systematically corrupt in his relationship with Tyson. Tyson has stated publicly, and supported through legal filings, that Don King stole over $100 million from him. Not all at once, over years, through contracts structured to funnel money away from Tyson and into King's pockets. Management fees far beyond what was agreed. Promotional cuts exceeding contracted terms. Expenses charged to Tyson for things he never saw or received. Tyson eventually sued King and settled for $14 million in 2004. $14 million for over $100 million allegedly stolen. That settlement, a fraction of what was taken, tells you everything about the power dynamic between a young man from Brownsville with 0 financial education and the most powerful promoter in boxing history, backed by a team of elite lawyers. The moment you have wealth without financial literacy, you become a target, not always from criminals, often from the most respected professionals in the room. The collapse. By 2003, it was over. Tyson filed for bankruptcy. The New York Times reported he had earned at least $400 million. He had $38 million in debt. He owed $13.4 million to the IRS alone, $600,000 to law firms, $800,000 to a former trainer, $500,000 to his financial manager. In 2010, 7 years after the bankruptcy, Tyson appeared on national television and said, "I'm totally destitute and broke. I had a lot of fun. It just happened. It just happened." As if $400 million evaporating was a weather event, something that occurred to him from outside. And those 3 words, "it just happened," are the most financially tragic sentence in the history of professional sport. Because it did not just happen. It was the inevitable result of a system nobody helped him understand, combined with predators who exploited that ignorance, and a childhood so defined by poverty that his relationship with money was fractured before he ever had any. The comeback, Iron Mike rebuilt. Here is where the story turns. Because unlike many who lose everything, Tyson came back, not to $400 million, not even close, but from destitute and broke to a genuine, growing, sustainable financial position. And the way he did it is where the real lesson lives. He stopped fighting money with the same approach that destroyed it. He diversified. His podcast, Hotboxin' with Mike Tyson, became one of the most listened to podcasts in America. Millions of listeners. Advertising revenue flowing in without throwing a punch. His cannabis company, Tyson 2.0, became one of the fastest growing cannabis brands in the country. Projected annual revenue of over $60 million, built on his name and brand rather than his body. His entertainment appearances turned his personality into a revenue stream completely separate from boxing. And in November 2024, at 58 years old, he stepped back into the ring against Jake Paul on Netflix. Not because he needed to fight, because the fight was a business decision, a brand activation, a content play, a revenue event. He earned $20 million in a single night. At 58, as of 2025, Tyson's net worth is estimated between $20 million and $30 million. Not $400 million, but real, stable, growing, built on businesses that generate income without requiring him to get punched in the face. The lesson: earning money and managing money are two completely different skills. They barely overlap. Mike Tyson was one of the greatest earners in the history of sport. He was simultaneously one of the worst managers of money in the history of sport. Nobody taught him the difference. Nobody sat with a 19-year-old kid from Brownsville who had never had anything and said, "Here is how money works. Here is what happens when you do not protect it. Here is how predators identify people like you. Here is how to say no." He was given a weapon, his fists, and taught to use it brilliantly. But the money that weapon generated, not one lesson. That is not Mike Tyson's failure alone. It is the failure of everyone around him. And it is a failure repeated constantly, with celebrities, athletes, lottery winners, and ordinary people who receive a significant pay rise, who are never taught that earning and managing are completely different games, requiring completely different skills. Here is what you carry from his story. The money you earn is only the first step. The system you build around that money, the protections, the knowledge, the boundaries, the people you trust, that system determines whether the money lasts. Tyson's fists could earn $400 million. But without a system, $400 million becomes $38 million in debt. And the system he eventually built in his 50s, that is where he finally won. Not the money, the understanding. Build the understanding first. Subscribe, because this channel builds that understanding every single week. Drop a comment right now. If you could give 20-year-old Mike Tyson one financial lesson, what would it be? Let's go.